And this topic is brought to us by Menu RX, Bull, when you're done chugging your water.
Yeah.
Tell us why Menu RX is the only place you should be going for diet advice.
Yeah, that's why I'm chugging water, because it's good for you to stay hydrated. My throat was a little dry. Got to stay hydrated there. If you're tired of trendy diets that don't deliver real results, you know the places. You know the famous diet operations that make you keep points and follow one plan that supposedly is going to work for a 50-year-old guy and a 90-year-old woman. It doesn't work that way. All our bodies are different. You're not alone, and that's exactly why menu-rx.com. Instead of working with some volunteer, you're actually working with scientists and nutritionists that will help you not only lose weight, but get in better shape, build peak performance, get your dream body. How often do you wish you had someone to guide you and adjust your plan as needs shift? Hey, for guys, and I know there's a lot of you out there like me that are overweight. We don't like to talk about it. We don't like to be bare our soul about it. It's great to have someone to talk to, one-on-one. Instead of going to a group meeting with, a bunch of other people, one-on-one with somebody else that can go through what you've been through. My guy, Dr. Jake May at Menu RX, he was heavy when he was younger. He's lost weight. This is his life. He studies. He's a scientist. He has studied weight loss his whole life. He's passionate about it. He's passionate about trying to help me and helping you as well. So whether you're chasing peak performance, building your dream body, or seeking optimal longevity, Menu-RX will help you reach your goals. Go to you see it right there, rx.com. Do it today and get your consultation.
Thanks for that, Bull.
Yeah.
All right, our last topic of the day.
A picture of Jason passed out.
Holding the dog poop bag.
Look, he could be dead. If he wasn't here today, you could make the argument he's dead.
Jason, hold up that picture so we can see it.
Yeah. I guess your knees are up, so you probably couldn't be dead. But
which camera?
Just hold it right there. You know you're good where you are.
Yeah.
Jason, whatever you're trying to airdrop me, don't worry about it.
Like, that really puts it all together. It's the poop bag.
That's tough.
I hate picking
tough look.
All from walking fast?
No, it was a dead out sprint. Like 5 houses of sprinting. Like I was running the 40 at the combine. Well, I stopped before I fell over.
Your daughter has no business trying to get away from you, and you have every right to try to embarrass her by racing against her.
Holding a poop bag.
Yeah, holding a poop bag.
The poop bag does add a nice little touch. All right, last topic of the day, guys.
Yeah.
Last season, we did our bold predictions for the Browns. I incorrectly predicted that Cedric Tillman would finish second on the team in receiving yards. He was on pace, but then obviously he got hurt, didn't come back.
The pace.
Bull, your prediction was that Alex Wright would finish with double-digit sacks.
I was wrong.
You were wrong about pace, but he got hurt in week 2, didn't play the rest of the season.
I was on pace. I'm not taking no credit.
He had 1 sack in 2 games, so on pace.
No, he wasn't. That's 8.5.
He's on pace to have close to the number. Whatever. The reality is, Alex Wright posted this week that he has been fully cleared. His rehab is over, and he is back to football activities from that torn triceps. So, Bull, I'm going to give you a chance to redeem yourself. Do you think Alex Wright could be a breakout candidate for the Browns in 2025 on opposite end of the line from Myles Garrett?
I do think he could. I mean, I'm worried because he's coming off a significant injury. What'd you say? Was it triceps? Triceps?
He had a torn tricep, yes.
Yeah, at least it wasn't a leg injury. It's not. I don't know. How hard an injury is that? That's hard, right?
You use your hands a lot.
I'm a little skeptical because of that type of injury. I really loved what I saw from him at the end of the 23 season. Right? 23? Yes. And so that's why I was really high on him heading into 2024, and then he gets the injury, and that's that. He's going to – if you're an opposing team's offensive line – obviously, Myles Garrett is your number 1 priority, and now Mason Graham is your number 2 priority.
No,
I hope
it's Mike Hall
or Mike Hall, whatever.
The Bucks.
The other end, whoever that starting end is going to be, I know it's going to be rotational.
Isaiah McGuire.
If it's Alex Wright, he's going to be the lowest priority, I guess, for the other team. So
hang on,
it's an opportunity.
Was that just a Ohio State, or are you serious? I'm genuinely asking about Mike Hall being the second priority over.
Oh, for sure.
Over Mason Graham?
Because he's a pass rusher.
I think on third down, Mike Hall is a more advanced pass rusher than Mason Graham is.
Mason Graham better be playing 3 downs. They drafted him 5th overall.
He will.
He will be.
What is this? He's not going to be a pass rusher?
No, I didn't say he's not going to be a pass rusher. Mike Hall was known as a defensive tackle pass rusher coming out of Ohio State.
That's why they.
Mason Graham is known more as a run stuffer than a pass rusher.
No. First of all, Mason Graham may not have put up sacks in college, and I may not necessarily be that high on him. Not that I know what the hell I'm talking about.
He plays with his hands really well.
The assumption is that even though he didn't get sacks in college, that he will be a big-time pass rusher in college.
I'm not saying he can't.
You do not draft a guy 5th overall to be a run stopper.
Well, Andrew Berry said that. They said that he
better be a sack guy.
He has a lot of high upside on the pass rushing side.
And Greg Cosell told me in my interview that the only flaw in his game was his sack ability in college, and he has all the tools to do that in the pros.
Yeah, no, he's a really good player.
Yeah.
I mean, so right there, that leads back to who's playing opposite Myles on the other side. I mean, you just named 3 guys that.
Well, these are D tackles.
It doesn't matter. It's still. Yeah. I'm just talking about across the defensive line. When you have Myles,
Mike, Mason, and Alex Wright.
Who you plug in over there?
Alex Wright, double O, Isaiah McGuire.
None of those guys getting double teamed.
No.
Because they're a low priority.
No. I think the smart play would be to put Myles and Mike on the same side, because if you put Myles and Mike on the same side with them pass rushing, you can't double
either one.
Yeah.
I guess you can still double Myles.
Because if you do that, you're going to slide. You're going to have to slide protection.
And ends up being the better pass rusher of the two inside guys.
Then you flip it. You put Mike Hall on the other side.
So you want the better pass rushing tackle lined up next to Myles.
Because it's harder. They'll still double team Myles, but it'll make it easier for that tackle.
Yeah. It'll probably be if you put them on the same side, they'll probably slide protection to that side.
Right. Myles is it doesn't matter who you have there. Myles is first priority.
Yes.
He's getting double teamed. Yes. He's occasionally getting triple teamed.
And that's Aaron Donald's down there.
Yeah, Aaron Donald is prime. Yes, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no defensive tackle now in the NFL that is stopping a double team.
If them two played together in their prime,
oh my God.
That'd be crazy.
So do you think? Give me a number.
If I had to predict today, will Alex Wright have double-digit sacks? I got to say no, coming off an injury.
Let's say
but I do think he'll have a good solid. If he stays healthy, I could see him with 7-8 sacks.
I would say 7.5 is the number. He has 8 for his career.
I'll go with 8. I'll go with 8, which is pretty.
I'll take the under, and I'll say 6 or 7.
Opportunistic. I couldn't think of a word there.
Jason?
Optimistic. I screwed that up.
You're setting it at what?
7.
7.5 is the over-under.
That's a lot. That is a lot.
I would take the under.
Probably the under. The under is probably
because
the smart
of
play.
who he's lined up.
It's a race to get there. Yeah. He got to get there first.
However, with all the pass rushing opportunities, even if Myles Garrett has 20 sacks, there's a lot of plays where he's not getting the sack.
Yeah.
And there's going to be a lot of times where he's double teamed and triple teamed, and it will lead for opportunities if they can take advantage of it from the other guy.
If that D-line plays the way that they all are capable of playing,
they can be really good.
It would save the season.
Let me ask you guys this. Yeah. From that opposite edge, not the defensive tackles, not Myles, but the opposite edge spot.
The opposite edge.
Right. McGuire, Ogbo. Anyone else I'm missing in that rotation from just the opposite edge?
I don't think so.
Those 3 combined, if I set the over-under, 11.5 sacks.
Combined?
The over-under for those 3, the opposite edge spot.
Combined,
11.5.
Right around there, probably.
I'd be curious to know what that spot's produced the last 5 years. Because it's probably lower than you think.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Yes. Oh, it's definitely lower than 11.5.
Well, Alex Wright played opposite, and he had 8 of them. So.
Well,
that's in his career.
Oh, excuse me. I didn't know that.
There was rumors about Ogbo getting traded around the draft. I don't remember when.
Yeah, they said him and G New was the veteran players.
That but what who else do they have at end?
He really
that group had 12.5 last year. I'm gonna do the mental math. 12.5 last year.
And who's in that group that added the 12?
Zadarius had 5.
Right.
Ogbo had 3. McGuire 2.5. Alex Wright 1, and Cameron Thomas had 1.
So now you want 11 out of 3 guys.
But Alex Wright was hurt for most of the season.
I'll say under the 11. I guess if I'm picking, I got to be realistic. Alex Wright's not getting 8 sacks. I'm not being realistic. It's under and under. I say
they had way more in 2023.
I think Wright can get you 5.5. I think that's realistic.
Get you 5.5.
I think maybe you get 5. Between 5 and 6 from Wright. And 3 from Ogbo and 2 or 3.
I feel like Ogbo can get you 4.
That group had 16.
Maybe they get 11.5.
And Isaiah get you 2. That's 11.
We're being optimistic.
That group had 16 in 2023.
The reality is the Browns' defensive line has a lot of high end potential. However, they have nothing proven outside of Myles Garrett.
The other reality is I just believe sacks are so overblown and
Oh,
overrated.
my God, yes. That's true.
All we
Generate. Heck no. Listen. So you a Shamar Stewart then?
I am a generate pressure, create pressure, and get to the quarterback.
No, he make me sick.
If you create pressure, I mean, listen. If you tell me
he just sat there and just told that lie.
If you tell me we are not overblowing them, then I'll believe you because you played it and I didn't. But to me, we get so hung up on the numbers. And it's more about creating pressure, generating pressure, getting the quarterback, hitting the quarterback.
I'll answer
over the number.
I'll answer it with this. 2 years ago, Ohio State's D-line with JT and Jack Sawyer, they didn't get a lot of sacks, but they generated a ton of pressure. Mm-hmm. Last year, they got a lot of sacks. They won a championship. I rest my case.
Let me respond to that by saying, of course the sacks matter from a team perspective. A sack from a team perspective is certainly more valuable than a pressure because the sack's going to end the play. The pressure might end the play and hurt the play, but ultimately you could still have a positive play.
And a pressure could also lead to a turnover.
But I think what you're trying to say, correct me if I'm wrong, is that we seem to judge pass rushers only by sacks, which is silly because they're such a small percentage of the plays that those guys play.
Yes.
Myles Garrett has 16 and a half sacks. He's on the field for how many passing plays? Hundreds and hundreds. So if we're judging them only on sacks, we're judging them on, 5% of their plays? 3%? I mean, that's not a good...
I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
And... the pressures, it makes it. It's nice.
It's not that sacks don't matter.
It's nice.
It's that it shouldn't be the only thing we judge players on.
But if I'm trying to get paid, they're not going to pay me for being the most pressured guy.
I'm just saying we shouldn't judge pass rushers solely on sacks.
I hear what you're saying.
If you get
that's just the way it is.
If you get 2 or 3 sacks on one drive, and it results in a punt, what about the rest of the game?
Right.
You had a great game. You had 3 sacks.
Yeah, right.
It all came on one drive.
Plus, not all sacks are created equal. Like, you could get a sack, it's a coverage sack, and you just happen to be the guy, you know what I mean? Like, if you get a sack 12 seconds into the play.
If I play a defensive end,
yeah,
all I care about is sacks.
All right, fair
I'm
enough.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Mike, you got super chats?
Sorry.
We do. I just wanted to mention, I'm looking at these sack numbers.
Yeah.
So just in the 3 years UCSS has been here, 2022, 2023, 2024 is the 3 seasons we've covered. 2024, 12 and a half sacks from the opposite edge.
Okay.
2023, 16. Can you guess the number in 2022? It is objectively hysterical, I promise.
3.
22. Is that when Clowney was here?
I might say, is that Jadeveon?
That was Clowney's final year, yes.
Yeah, he was terrible.
His final year. No, his final year, he was terrible.
And he quit on the team, and I'm saying 3. They had nothing that year.
Yeah, like 4.5.
2.5.
You guys are in the right range.
Yeah.
Clowney had 2.
Yeah.
Isaiah Thomas had 1. And Chase Winovich had 1. 4 was the right answer, opposite of Myles Garrett.
Oh, wow.
Do you remember who finished second on that team in sacks? Myles Garrett had 16.
Dalvin Tomlinson?
Not on the team yet.
That was the Joe Woods year, right?
That was Joe Woods' final season, correct.
It was that big white dude, the defensive tackle.
Yes, but you got to get his name.
Jacksonville.
Brian some with a T. Shoot.
You're close, Ty.
Taven Bryan.
Taven Bryan.
There you go.
I got
he had 3.5, right?
No, he had 3. Don't give him that extra
3.
half. Had 3.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that was the Browns pass rush in 2022.